What's going on, Scott Squad? We are back in the building. It is Saturday morning. We've got a little bit of interesting, this is some out of the blue tea that we got to discuss today. And of course, we're going to be talking about Belle Collective, not Belle Collective Birmingham, but Belle Collective. Belle Collective is back, baby. So we're going to be breaking that down. And then we got a little bit of follow-up tea from the Drew Sidora and the Ralph of it all. So I want you guys to tap on in as you guys come into the room. And we're going to get this thing rolling on a river. Let's go. What's going on, Crystal? I see you up in here. So this first story is so interesting to me. I'm just gonna go ahead and kick things right on off. Hey Kim, what's going on? Um, I don't know. I'm gonna tell you guys just straight up. I don't know why this surfaced. Okay. I'm I think we're all still unclear on the why. Don't know. Okay. But the headline reads from the Neighborhood Talk: leaked audio of DJ Boof claiming he previously had to perform CPR on Wendy Williams and bring her back to life says he hasn't heard from Wendy or the show after taking her to the hospital. He said that they said I seen too much. So I'm going to play some of this audio. Let me know if you guys can hear it. First things first, let me know if you guys can hear it.
Have this perspective. I'm a DJ.
Okay. Now let me just check in the chat. Were you guys able to hear that before I get into all of this playing and y'all can't hear nothing? Just give me a yes or a thumbs up in the chat if you guys could hear that. As soon as I get an affirmative, then I will proceed. Soon as I get an affirmative, I will proceed. We're going to get into that. Black myths. Okay, y'all said yes, you can hear it. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to come back to this black myth. So let's not lose this question. All right. So let's continue.
I knew Nikki since high school. Right? I worked on the Wendy Williams show first. Me and Wendy is still friends to this day. I left the Wendy Williams show because she was sick, illy sick, and tried to herself, my nigga.
So I'm assuming, I don't know what he said right there, but I don't know if he said trying to off herself or do something else. That part wasn't clear, but it was beeped out. So clearly there was a curse word in there.
Do you hear what I'm telling you? So I want you to understand it. I did CPR on her and brought,
or maybe not a curse word, but maybe a word that we shan't say on the platform. Let me just say that. My apologies. Let me clarify. Sounds like a word that we don't want to say on the platform. So we would say off instead. You guys, I think you can clearly understand what I mean by that.
brought the bitch back to life. Put her in my car, took her to the hospital, never heard from Wendy or the company again. They said I seen too much, my nigga. Instead of getting this woman fucking help, that's what y'all do. You know she's not well. She's an alcoholic. So you know what I did? I walked away from the show, my nigga.
So clearly it sounds like he's speaking with someone he's at least somewhat familiar with when we think about the use of the term my ninja. Honestly, y'all, that ain't even part of my vocabulary at this point. So I mean, we just gonna use the word my ninja. So it sounds like there's some familiarity here.
I spoke to Wendy, went to her crib. She said, Boof, I'm so sorry. I miss you. We are friends to this day. To this day. So when I went viral 7 years ago, when I said, sorry for the victims, that was only to get Wendy to stop drinking because it's killing her. And it worked. You should have this perspective.
And so credit to the Neighborhood Talk and the ex-user Jay Grizzly. Now, again, I don't know the full context of this. And I'm not sure why he was having this conversation. And I don't know if he knows that it was leaked or not, or if he was speaking. Y'all know I don't know. The people remember when the people used to be on Clubhouse and they would just be like talking and talking and talking. Somebody just reminded me of that yesterday. Clubhouse was a thing, man. Like, and I for one could just never get into it because why am I listening to people like yell into the phone all the time? Like, it was just a little bit chaotic for me and it did not really work for my nervous system. So I just tended to like stay away from it. I mean, I had it, but I didn't really quite understand it. And how you supposed to be competing for attention and people can't really see you. All they hear is you yelling. And I guess maybe unless you're a celebrity or something like that, then maybe yeah, your voice could stand out from the crowd if you're somebody well known. But I was just like, what? Anyway, I guess for me, the details of this incident, maybe the leak of this is probably more shocking than the actual incident being described. I can most assuredly imagine this happening, and especially with the things that he has said to us in the past, not to me personally, but just out loud in the past. And given how close they were, I'm not shocked that he would probably see these types of things happening. And furthermore, she has also admitted to having a drinking problem. So none of that is actually surprising to me. It's interesting that a couple of people pointed out some things that he said that were maybe a little bit contradictory. Is that one person says, "How can you be friends to this day, but you never heard from her again?" And um maybe he means that even though they haven't spoken, that there's still no beef. I'm not really sure about that, but it's very interesting. It seemed like this stemmed from some other topic of conversation. So I am sure that we'll hear more about this as it is released, but as of now, this is what we have. And then this is just kind of more in our continuing coverage of what actually is really happening with Wendy Williams. We talked about it. What was it yesterday? I think yesterday morning, because she had done an interview with the New York Post. So now, as we follow up with this piece of information, I'm not sure that the puzzle pieces of what's happening with her now are any clearer, but I did want to bring you guys this just in case you had not heard or seen it. For those of you guys who are Wendy Williams fans and you just kind of want to know what was going on, at least in the background, is particularly with this relationship here, because I think we were all invested in not their relationship, but their working chemistry when he was on the show, because he was the DJ, like he was the DJ of the Wendy Williams show. So it still matters, right? So anyway, that's the tea on that. You guys can go and listen to that at your leisure. I will place the link in the description when I am done with this live. Okay. Another piece of information that I do want to get into is this. Okay. Now, I previously told y'all, I took and told y'all, and I'm just so happy somebody else has reaffirmed what I have been saying, is that, a lot of time, and I say this because I really want, and this is where I want to get back to. Wait. um yeah, I just couldn't get into Clubhouse, I think because I I am such a visual, and I think this is probably more it. I'm a visual person. So to just kind of hear the audio of people, I just kind of think it was a little bit, it felt chaotic to me because I don't know if you could mute the other people or not, but it always sounded to me like when I hopped into Clubhouse, I would hear a bunch of voices. And so it kind of threw me off, like, mentally. And that's a me thing. That's a me thing. I readily admit that. It's a me thing. Okay? It is a me thing. That's it. Okay? Um Thank you guys for answering that question earlier about if you could hear or not. So let's go back to the Drew question for a friend. Drew money doesn't seem long enough for the lifestyle she's portraying. Am I missing something? Okay, so I think that there are a couple of parts to this question that we need to discuss. And I think it's important because I really want to emphasize what Drew could be doing now and what any reality TV personality could be doing. So the post is from Mr. Housewives, but it's actually from one of the lives that Q has done in, I think, over the probably the course of this week. And he really breaks down, as the title reads, why content creators may be richer than real housewives. And there's a whole, I mean, if you watch the clip, I won't play it because it's also on his YouTube channel. So you guys, I will put the link in the description, or you could just also go visit Mr. Housewives or Funky Daniva's YouTube page. Easy, right? But the synopsis here is this. He said that while 456,000, which is basically about 2650 maybe per episode, 26,000 per episode, sounds like a lot. It may be one of the biggest paychecks Drew has received in her career. He also suggested that many housewives work hard to stay on their shows because the franchise often provides the highest earning potential they'll have in entertainment. Let's break that down first. The level of pay in entertainment is not, again, as I told you guys earlier, what you think it is, or what you think it should be, or what you think it could be. It's just not. Unless you're doing, multi-million-dollar movies, the pay is just not going to be what you think it is. Now, on the surface, it may look glamorous. And I said this in the chat. Well, something I said in the chat because I commented on this. I said if Drew was smart, someone on her team of 20 people would grab a camera and start filming all of her BTS for YouTube and Facebook, monetize and get some brand deals. Next, she should start a monthly membership Insiders Club where she goes live once or twice a month to chat with her fans and give them special access. She could easily double her revenue. I think she's stuck in the old school model of entertainment business. All of this could be set up in less than a weekend. Period. Okay? Period. Now, I ain't even got to the rest of this yet, so just hold on, walk with me here. So someone says in the comments, and I don't know if the person was like, I'm not sure what the person was really referencing, but they tagged me and said Beyonce and J-Lo would never. Exclusivity keeps the price up. Listen, Drew is not Beyonce, and Drew is not J-Lo yet, okay? We don't know where Drew is going to go in the next 10, 12 years. I don't know that. So I'm not going to deny her greatness. What I'm talking about is right now, okay? And right now, she's not them. And what I will tell you is this. The thing that Beyonce also knows that we as content creators know, and she's been doing this for years, is that Beyonce collects her behind the scenes content and she packages it and she sells it to networks and streaming services when she wants to do so. So those movies that we see that are take sometimes of concert clips or the entire concert or those behind the scenes that she used to do as she was preparing for an album, Beyonce has been doing this content creation game for much longer and in a much different format than many other artists. And there actually are a ton of artists, not a ton, but there's a number of artists that do exactly what I'm saying. They just might not be on YouTube. The platform may be different, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to tell you that content pays. The same reason that J-Lo's last album, she did a whole behind the scenes thing and she sold it to Amazon. That is what you do. That is how you have ownership. So what I am telling Drew to do and what Q is also saying here is that content creation feeds into your overall mission, okay? So when people when you say that exclusivity, what did this person say? Exclusivity keeps the price up. Baby, the price is only the price right now if she stays on Housewives. But as you can see, Candy has done this. Dr. Heavenly has done this. Shamia has done it. Portia has done it. Okay? Kelly Dodd has done it, and that ain't even probably the person I really want to mention right now, because I don't really I don't really know her like that, and I don't like a lot of what she says and stands for. But the woman left her show, got on the whatever platform she's on, started her own podcast with her man or whatever, and then now they make a coin. Okay, and that coin can likely be more than what the housewife person actually even makes. So as Q says this about content creators may be richer than Real Housewives, it could be that some content creators are making more than the housewives. They're making more to talk about a housewife than the housewife is being paid to be the housewife. So yes, everything that he said right here is absolutely 100% correct. Okay? I'm just trying to tell you what I know, and let them know. Let them know. And Beyonce and J-Lo been doing this for 30 years. But at the end of the day, Beyonce has been doing BTS and putting packaging those things together for a very long time. Since when she started auditioning dancers for her first album, the promo for that, if you guys really if you're really a Beyonce fan, you know that she's been doing this for a long time. And the other thing about exclusivity is that's where I said you charge people extra access you charge people access for that even extra exclusivity. But guess what? When you are given exclusivity, even if you're giving them access, that doesn't mean they get access to all of your personal details, who you dating and whatnot, and what you got going on. You giving away your exclusivity on a reality TV show. A lot of times, a lot of these reality TV stars are giving away the exclusivity for free, almost. Okay, when you really think about it. So, as I stated, I think that Drew exists in a state of old school entertainment. And that is the perceived element of exclusivity, the perceived element of what an entourage means. But in 2026, we know you don't need that. What you actually probably need are a couple of key people: a manager, an agency, okay, a PR person, maybe a hairstylist, probably, yeah, we'll say a hairstylist, a makeup artist, and a stylist. Okay, your stylist can be contracted, so they don't have to be on your team. But the hair and the makeup, at the very least, absolutely, I'm good with that. I understand that. The manager, Keon, absolutely, I get that. I understand it. Okay, and the agency end, that is an established business. Okay, that is an established something that is bringing you jobs. They're not going to be likely running around arguing with the members of your team. Your agency is not going to do that. So for me, do you see why? Okay, listen, I know Bethany's thing is doing very well. I could give y'all a couple of people, okay? Bethany does very well business-wise on her own. I'm sure she's doing some nice, interesting VC work, venture capitalist work, angel investing, all of these other things. But the woman is still making her content. Why do you think that is? Okay? Why? Why do you think that is? So as I tell y'all all the time, okay, y'all need to get yourselves up on this content game, get online and start talking about the things that you enjoy and your passions, whether you want to show your face or not. Definitely get up on there and do it. Stop wasting time, because I'm letting y'all know content creation is where it's at. If you are a reality TV star, if you are a musician, get yourself on a platform and then dominate it. What are we doing in this day and age? especially if you're on one of these housewife shows. You need to come to the table being, as my friend Tia says, the prize and not the petitioner. You need to come knowing already, okay, that I've got a community behind me. So you guys do not own me. I own me. That's why a Candy at this point can up and leave that show and be like, deuces, I'm going to go and do my own thing, and still has her things working for her, right? You don't want to be dependent on this show, because at any point in time, that network can go snip, snip. The viewers, you're not rating well with the viewers anymore. We've got too many girls. We've got too many more interesting faces and stories to tell. So out you go. And there is $26,000 per month. And now, of course, because you have this entourage, you still, are you going to be paying them still? Is that entourage going to still be there if you don't have this paycheck? No. So what you need to do is, one of these people in your entourage, what they need to do is pick up their cell phone, and they need to be recording you and all of the things that you do behind the scenes, getting ready for your events. That's how it stays exclusive. They're not recording you while you're cooking dinner. But if you really wanted to get into it, Drew, you might want to be in the kitchen cooking and film, and having them film you cook some things so you can get some sponsorships from some people and whatnot. I'm saying all of this because I am pro Drew and I want her to win. I want y'all to win too. But at the end of the day, these people on these shows, they don't be like, I feel like they just exist in this old school world of like, well, the jobs is gonna come to me. No, girl, the jobs are gonna be attracted to you. Why? The jobs are gonna be more attracted to you because you have built your own community that you own, that you don't have to. These people are gonna follow you wherever you go, not just because you're on the show. Okay. Um, Courtney Makeup Sun says, just showing some love. Thanks for all the content and being real up on cheer, up on the internets. I appreciate you. Um, you know what I'm saying? Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying. Bethany is also, she's getting her coin. She's getting her coin. She's on the internet doing her thing, and she's getting that bag. Okay? Anyway, um, I just wanted to mention that to y'all. Y'all also know that we are doing our faceless content class at noon today. Um, just just in case you have been thinking to yourself, I want to get in on all of this, but I don't really want to show my face on camera. I'm going to show you exactly what I've been able to do. I'm going to show you how I've been able to do it. I'm going to show you exactly what other people are doing, and I'm going to show you examples. I'm going to give you templates, and I'm going to give you specific instructions so that you can go out and do the same thing. Now, I cannot promise you that you are going to make $26,000 in your first several months, but because this is also for entertainment purposes only, I have to say that because it's YouTube, and I have to give you that disclaimer. But I will tell you, the people that put in the work, eventually, you get out of this what you put into it. And what I see for Drew as an example is just an example. And I think Q also says it best here when you guys go back and look at it, is that this is really the wave and this is where you want to be. And there are content creators out there who I know make 10 times more than I do. Okay. Who do the very same thing, who talk about television shows, reality TV shows, and they are able to bring in revenue, and they don't have to pay a whole team of people. They don't have an entourage of 20 that they are paying for. They don't have to do that. All they do is show up on this platform every single day or once a week, and they do their doggone thing. That is what they do. Okay? So, with that being said, I'm keeping it 100% faux real with you when I tell you that you need to be in this game if you have not done so. Okay? Hear me when I tell you this. I am telling you this for a reason. Follow the breadcrumbs. Why else do you think your favorite content creators continue to show up day after day? Okay? Let this be a lesson to you. Let them know. Let them know, Aquarius Vibes, who says you can create another channel specifically for this content so the algorithm can reach the right audience. Boom. Drop the mic on them. Oh, Tia, I literally just mentioned you. I just mentioned you. Y'all better go follow my girl Tia. um, I am a Cancer. I'm not going to leave that on the screen too long, and I will definitely say that is absolutely correct. Yes, YT Lover breaks it down for you right here. Listen to this. Housewives are dependent on filming schedules while content creators can work and earn year round as much as they want. That's why housewives need to have multiple streams of income. But I think the same goes for everyday people, y'all. Have multiple things happening for you so that if your job is getting froggy with you, you can get froggy and say jump. Actually, I'm jumping. Deuce. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I want you guys to have as many options as you deserve. And I want you to go out here and get this money because y'all have no idea how much money there is just literally all around you. And you are only limited in your thinking, likely sometimes because you have not been around the right people who are introducing you to ways to do things. A lot of us didn't grow up like that. We didn't grow up around that type of money. And I would wager to think that Drew, while I'm not sure she could have been surrounded by money growing up. I'm not really sure, but she's definitely been. Drew also needs to watch, and I don't know if she's seen this yet, but Drew would be beneficial. It would be beneficial for Drew to watch Candy and Tisha Campbell on Candy's YouTube. There it is again. Candy's YouTube channel. The interview that Candy did for her Speak On It with Tisha Campbell is probably hands down one of my favorite things that she has ever done. You can watch that and you can take away so many life lessons. Y'all, when you get done with this video, if you're not hopping in our faceless content class at noon, you need to be seated down in front of that television screen or your MacBook or your iPad or your phone, and you need to tap in to what Tisha has to say in that interview. Tisha Campbell drops bars all up and through that. You are like, if you are in a space in your life where you are like either a creative, just a person in general, like I just watch it. Just watch it. Okay? Just watch it. It is so fascinating. Um exactly. This is what Candy did. All you got to do is follow the playbook. Y'all saw Portia was doing it for a while, but see, I had a feeling Portia wasn't going to be consistent. Um, all Portia because Portia is in a different space than Drew with the network, right? I think Portia's in the space of the network is actively, right now at least, courting her, wanting her. You know, they're actively engaged and involved with her. And I'm not saying the same ain't true for Drew, but what I'm saying is there's probably a bit more security there for Portia. And what I want for Drew to do is, I think Drew, I'm sure you love this group of people around you, and I don't have nothing against those people. But again, if they are not making you money, somebody in that group needs to be recording behind the scenes and editing for your channels, for your Snapchat, for your Facebook, for your YouTube, and they put those clips up there that you approve, right? You give them access to what you want them to have access to, and then you make that money, and then you go live maybe once a month with your fans and answer questions from the season or about what's going on next. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Somebody in your crew needs to be doing that. And if they not, and all they doing is sitting there arguing, I just don't know that you're gonna get. I mean, that it's gonna be enough for that spinoff. Drew and the gang. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it could happen on your YouTube channel. Now that is where they could be doing all of the foolishness, right? So now we have a space for that too. If you wanna keep this entourage, y'all gonna have to amuse the people on my channel. How about that? Do it that way. My God, somebody need to be paying me to consult for that. All right, let's just talk about Belle Collective real quick, because we got to talk about that, and I got to get ready for class, so I got to be ready for that. So we got to run through this. We're on episode 12 of season 7. It's called Ring My Bell. The Bells throw a dating event for to help Marie meet a man. Okay, she's got to meet a man. Um, okay. Um, Selena's Lateshia learns that Selena's wedding is dangerously behind schedule, and Glenn confides in Mike that he met with a lawyer, leading Selena to publicly confront Lateshia about a possible divorce. Okay? So we got all of that going on. Now, much of this episode centers around the ladies finding a man or a woman for Marie Monroe. This episode we see Marie sit down with her dad. I feel like we missed a lot of family dynamic with Marie in these last couple of seasons. I think now that the focus is not going to be on her mom as much, maybe, and we don't really see Essie a lot. I feel like, and we saw her son a bit, and we knew that he wanted to open up the dispensary. But I think also seeing her dad helped inform us a little bit more about it, because the show always to me presents a more hardened side of Marie, like with a lot much more attitude. But I gotta tell y'all, having met Marie in person at the Belle Collective press day a few years ago, I found that Marie, in my opinion, she comes across a lot softer in person than what you actually get on the show. I mean, she definitely seemed more introspective to me, a lot softer, a lot more. I felt really oddly drawn to Marie, like to have like deep conversation, because I just felt like I don't know, there was something about her. I can't really explain it to you other than that's how I felt in real life around her. So it's nice to see a softer side of her, because I think the role that she tends to play is just a bit harder on the show. But that's just me. Um, she's looking for a man at this point. I just never feel like she's really gonna like any of these situations are real dates. That's the only unfortunate part. I feel like this is mostly for entertainment purposes. As we say, everything on this channel is for entertainment purposes. None of this is financial advice. This is all entertainment purposes, as you should always know. Okay, this is the YouTube. um, but I will say it never really feels like it's landing for me. Um, and even when they do have the event, now I did feel like they brought in some eligible bachelors, and I felt like they brought in some people that I was like, no, this is not going to work. The one guy, he was like 36. I mean, they have a speed dating event for her. All of the Bells end up bringing someone or one of two people. Um, there's a saxophonist there. I thought he was a potential good candidate because he brought flowers. But something Marie's daughter was on there, and I'm like, where has she been? Because she has a lot of personality, and I feel like we need to see more of her on the show, because I think it also again broadens Marie's scope on the show, and I think we need more of that, because otherwise they position her sometimes as the pot stirrer, and you need the pot stirrer to have some dynamic of family, of you need the people in her life that can check her, and her daughter looks like her daughter can check her, right? So the daughter is also there at the event for support. There is a gentleman who is a personal trainer. While now, again, he might look like somebody who's going to give her a good time, if you know what I'm saying. I don't think he would have been the one. There was a 36-year-old visual artist. He honestly looked like he was about 24. So I just didn't think that was going to work. And then there was the man who was, I think he was like 49, that she does end up with. he seemed to do something for like government or something like that. He definitely seemed more her speed in general. He seemed successful, but he didn't seem pretentious. He seemed like a gentleman, and I felt like that's probably what she needs in her life at this point in time. Somebody like that. Although I still feel like it's just for entertainment purposes only. Latrice's other date, who the girl had dated the mama, the daddy, the mama, the sister, the auntie, the cousin of somebody else. I mean, I don't know. It was just too much, and I was like, "Girl, you have got to go. Okay, you're not you're not the one. Okay, you're not the one for her." So there was that, and we'll get back to what happened after that in 1 second because we got to lead up to it. Now, as we are leading into this, one of the first scenes that we see is Glenn going to meet with A. I think we saw Glenn meet with the attorney about the post-nup. He then tells Mike, who is Selena's fiance, that, okay, I met up with, this woman about a post-nup and it could mean, divorce. I don't really know. And I just think to myself on this show, they mention divorce quite a bit. Um, and I I'm not really with that because I just feel like if you keep speaking the word, then you are eventually, I know this is going to sound crazy, okay? But I've always heard, and you guys can tell me if you ever heard any of this in the comment section. People talk about when you speak over your life or you're talking about your life, when you speak, you're casting spells. And I know that sounds, for some of y'all, that's going to be a little bit left field, okay? But you're kind of creating something over your life. I think the more you continue to say it and you say it out loud. And to me, on this show, they do a lot of that divorce talk. I mean, they throw it around so casually. And I know we're making TV, but this is still your real life. So I just think that if you are in a relationship, there has to be a lot of other words that you utilize before you end up utilizing that word divorce. That's just me. Okay. That should be your final option. And it should only come into play when you know, okay, there is nothing else. We are done. That's to me when you use it. But otherwise, don't play with it. Because as much as Glenn and Lateshia have gone through, I just kind of feel like he ain't leaving her. She ain't leaving him. So I don't even understand why we playing around with this word. That's just my thought. Okay, we can leave it there. Next, so Mike ends up telling Selena that this conversation has happened. Baby, let me see. Hold on for a second. My eCam is acting a little crazy, so I'm gonna have to go online to look at y'all comments to make sure that we are still playing. So give me 1 second, y'all. It says that we're still live. I just can't see y'all comments because my computer is my app is acting a little crazy. I got to get through the ads first. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me just make sure y'all still with me. Okay. I'm still live on my end. I just can't see y'all comments. Okay. So yes, Courtney Makeup Son says decibel an element of manifestation. Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you. Tia says I'm playing. All right, cool. Alexander says still see and hear you. All right, cool. So we good. All right. So let's continue on. I just don't like the continued use of that word divorce because again, y'all know y'all not going nowhere. Selena, Mike then tells Selena this conversation happens. Selena is planning her wedding, but she's a little bit behind and is feeling a little bit chaotic. So Lateshia ends up saying, listen, girl, let me help you, right? So she meets with Lateshia and the wedding planner, but she does not tell Lateshia that Glenn has said that he has met with this divorce attorney or this attorney about a post-nup or about divorce, okay? This conversation does not come up, and I am kind of wondering why she does not have this conversation. And what she does though is she has the conversation with Latrice and with Tambra first, because I think that honestly, I think she's just closer to them in real life. And I think she is trying to determine whether or not to tell Latesha this in front of the girls or in front of, or just by herself. Because here's the thing, if Selena doesn't tell, and this is just reality TV 101, right? Is it the right way to go about it? No. Okay. Sorry, Selena. You know I love you, girl. But is it the right way? No. But is it the TV way? Yes. The TV way is we gonna have to say you need to tell her this in front of the group. Now, I ain't saying production told her to do that. I'm telling you that the TV way is to tell her to do that. Okay? The TV way would be to, girl, we gotta make this episode. What you gonna do? The ball is in your court. You know this information. How you gonna tell her or the group? So Selena waits, unfortunately. Okay. So what she does then, and Latesha is generally seeming like she's trying to help her plan this thing, because the wedding is it's again sounding chaotic. We learned that Latrice has found the officiant, so that's at least settled. But all these other details, it sounds like Selena is like kind of behind on, and the wedding is coming up in a few weeks. Now, the other thing that's happening here is at the event, the speed dating event, we find out from Selena that, well, hey girl, Latesha, you okay? Cause I don't know. Mike said that something about Glenn said something about, I don't know, divorce or post-nup, or I don't know. What was it? Girl, oh God. What was it? I did he say post-nup, prenup, divorce, or did they just have drinks? Girl, I don't remember what I heard, and then I went back and told Latrice and Tambra. What did I hear? I don't know, girl, but like, you okay? And I'm like, so and predictably, Latesha is like, huh? What? A post-nup divorce? Um, Secretly, I do wonder if Latesha already knew about this, but in the moment, of course, obviously, we're on a show, right? We got to do the show. So she's like, why would you do this to me when you feel like I did this to you? And maybe that's why, Latesha, she did this to you, because that's what she feels you did to her. Maybe. But Selena's like, well, I mean, you're not mad at me, right? Because, I mean, I just didn't, I don't know, girl. Because Latesha's like, well, why didn't you tell me this when we were together? Did you know this information when we were together? And Selena's like, well, yeah, kind of. I think I did. I don't know. But I did tell Latrice and Marie, maybe, or something like that. Um, Oops. I mean, Tambra. Girl, I don't know. I don't know what I said. I've got wedding brain. Girl, it's my wedding. Leave me alone. This is kind of where Selena is in this moment. And so Latesha does, I don't know what Latesha signed, but this was a cancer move, okay? A cancer move is to, okay, well, all right. So let's go ahead and pack this thing up. Scene's over, and you guys can continue doing whatever you like. Marie, you can have your dates, and I am gonna head on out. For which I can't be mad, because at this point, yes, you would. You would want a minute to go and call your spouse if they spouting off the word divorce and post-nups to other people and not to you, right? You would. The first thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get to my phone and get a private moment in, so I can find out what and what's going on. So I don't really mind her running up out the scene. I mean, she didn't storm off. She did dismiss herself politely, but she went outside to call Glenn and get him on the phone and get him on the line and find out what's going on, and said to be continued. But as she's heading out, Selena's like, oh girl, I hope she's not mad at me or nothing like that. I mean, because at my wedding, And Letitia's like, but girl, it was you. You put me in this situation right now. Like, you put me in this situation to be embarrassed in front of these girls. So they're gonna have to solve that. And I wondered if it was ever gonna come back up to bite Lateshia that she did withhold that information from Selena back when. Um it was kind of like at the beginning of the season, they kind of had a little bit of a thing. And I felt like I just don't know that Selena feels like she can trust Lateshia. And now definitely Lateshia probably feeling like she doesn't trust or she can trust Selena. So um you know, I can't be mad at again. Letitia pulled what I feel like a cancer would do, right? A mature cancer, because back in the day, oh baby, I used to love a dramatic exit. I ain't love it actually because I would feel bad about it the next day, but not too bad. But back in the day, baby, I think I was ooh, and because I don't typically outwardly explode, I kind of internally implode. It is usually best that I leave the scene before I explode, right? So all the while I'm imploding and I'm like, "Oh, oh, okay. Okay. Okay." The mature me is definitely going to be like, "You know what? Okay, this scene is a wrap for me. Y'all better get this mic pack off of me now." Um, or as Letitia does, the smart play, because she is, I will tell you this, what I believe is Letitia is a very smart reality TV personality slash producer. Okay. I don't mean no harm by that. I just mean that I think she knows the game. I'm not going to take my mic pack off. What I am going to do is I am going to shut this scene down because I am annoyed. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this mic pack on. You camera people are going to follow me and I'm going to get to the bottom of this on camera because I know it's going to make for a good show, even though I might be pissed right now. That's how you do it. Now, if I yes, Alexander, I back in the day, I would clear a room. I have cleared the bar. I yeah, I have embarrassed myself in a variety of ways. I've definitely embarrassed myself in a variety of settings when I look back on things that made me, I mean, and sometimes I did explode. Other times I'm imploding, but still making. It's like I told Destiny. I don't know if y'all saw my interview with Destiny, but I told Destiny, I said there is an art to the dramatic walk off, and let me tell you something. I have definitely mastered it in my day. Okay, I'm much different now because I'm older, right? As evidenced by these grays. Y'all see this gray right here? Do y'all see what lies beneath? And y'all know I ran right over to the store this morning when I was getting my Starbucks, and I said, "Oh heck no," because I ended up shaving down my beard. Y'all, well, I don't know why I'm telling y'all my business, but why not? We here, okay? Shaved down my beard this morning, y'all, and I said, "What in the world? What lies beneath Oh my God! Not this gray." Baby, it's so gray. It's you can't, and that's what I hate about the gray is you can't even tell where my skin is and where the gray is because my skin complexion and the gray, it just to me it looks crazy together. So by the next time y'all see me, okay, not class, because I ain't gonna have time. I thought I was gonna have time to do it between now and the faceless class, but I ain't gonna have time. I only got 30 minutes. I ain't even got 30 minutes now. But I thought I was gonna have time to die so I could pop in on class like bam, but now I got to look like Santa Claus. Look at me, looking crazy. Anyway, what was I talking about? I forget. Um, yes, man, clearing the room. Key stays splashing says it's a cancer thing. A football game in high school hated to see me coming. Someone always got cussed out, minding my business. Oh God. Alexander says the gray is the wisdom with a little mess. It's a little too much mess for me, man. I just don't like it. I like for my beard to be jet black, right? Because the contrast here to me looks so much better, right? And this just be like, oh my God. Why? Jules says we told you the salt and pepper look works for you too. I don't know. Courtney says buy some waterproof mascara. I use it in a pinch for my m- for my is that birch? I color it like 15 seconds. But my thing is, I don't want to have to do it every day, right? It does the waterproof mascara, is that gonna like come off on my pillow at night when I go to sleep? Do I gotta wash it out at the end of the day and then be reminded of what I'm covering up? Like I just no, 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 Meredith. No. I can't. Okay, I can't. Oh, beard. My bad. YT Lover says, "Be grateful you've lived long enough to see those." Oh, man, YT Lover, why you always dropping wisdom? I don't want to hear your wisdom. I don't want to hear you speaking smartly to me. I don't want to hear you dropping knowledge. Like, come on, YT Lover. Um. YT Lover, I want to know who you are. I feel like you got some stories. Courtney Makeup Son says, "Oh, you got to wash it off right after the meet." See, no, nope. Y'all gonna see me in class looking gray in the face, and I ain't gonna even care at that point because I'm gonna be so into it. We got a lot to cover in today's class. Listen, if you have not tapped in, y'all please go. Like I think this is my last faceless masterclass as well. So if you haven't done it, chime in, just jump in. And the worst that happens is you learn something that you can go and utilize today and start generating faceless content. That's the worst. That's the worst that can happen. You take something, you take a template that I give you, you go use it, and then you see what happens. See what happens. At the worst, you see what happens. That's what I did with YouTube. I said, I have nothing to lose. Q, Funky Not Evil, was the person that told me, well, get on YouTube. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna see what happens. You know, I never asked him initially, I don't think, about the money that came with YouTube. I just didn't know what else to do. I didn't honestly, y'all, I did not have a job at the time. I was the news show I was working for. They and I worked with Anna Concosis, who was on the Real Housewives of Miami. She was on season 2. So she and I were co-hosts on that morning show. And my boy from LA had kind of introduced me to the job because he asked me to come in for 2 days when I was visiting Miami, like maybe 8 months before that. So when I was there, the general manager was like, "Hey, what would it take for you to move to Miami?" So I said, "All right, I'm like, what you got? Okay, y'all got that guap." So I was like, "All right, cool." Now I have been looking at YouTube because I've had I had my YouTube channel since 2013, but I didn't do anything with it because I didn't really know what people were making on YouTube. So I was like, oh. And I came from the same school that I feel like Drew came from a little bit, in that because I wanted to be on Entertainment Tonight when I was younger, I always thought I had to be on TV in order to really do this. And I thought that that was the only respectable thing. So when I got fired, essentially, because the news show was moving to Orlando, I said, okay, what do I have to lose? And mind you, this is what's crazy, y'all. I had a trip scheduled to Dubai. Okay, this is funny. Um, and the trip, I could not cancel the trip, right? So because you got the flights and stuff like that. So we get fired at the end of March, y'all. My trip to Dubai is at the end of April. So I had a couple of weeks before I was gonna go, and I didn't know what else. I didn't know what to do. So I was looking for jobs in radio, right? Because I really thought, okay, I'll go. And I had an interview with iHeart Radio for a gig that did not pan out. So I said, okay, I don't know what to do. So I think I was talking to Q at some point, and he just simply said, just get on YouTube. Now, again, I tried a couple of different things before I settled on entertainment news because that's what I love, right? So I said, okay, well, let me try mukbangs at first. I was eating on, I think I deleted those. And then I said, okay, well, let me just talk about reality TV. And I talked about Nene and Portia. They had released some text messages on each other, and that video that night, I did it with my phone, y'all. I recorded that video with my phone. It went viral. And you don't have to go viral, I would say, because going viral is basically like it just got me monetized really, really fast. So that happened. So I will tell you, news works. If you're thinking about doing this, go into news. I'm giving y'all some tea before class even starts. Okay. Imagine what you're about to get in class. I started in news and I end up in news on YouTube. I know that news moves fast because people are always searching for news, but news is a constant churn, so you kind of have to always stay on top of it. Anyway, so video goes, it does well, and I said, "Oh, okay. Well, let me, baby." I said, "Let me see what's popping." Right. So I ended up doubling down. I kept doing my videos. My channel got monetized. Then, y'all, I had to go to Dubai. Right. This is what's crazy. I was so amped about this, and I could see the monetization that I was doing video. If you remember my channel from way back in the day, you guys will remember I was doing videos in the bathroom in that hotel in Dubai. Like that's how like pressed I was to like, keep going with this because I could see like what it was generating. I was like, okay, this is like cool. And I love what I was doing. I love reality TV. I love talking to celebrities. I've always wanted to work in news. So this was my thing. This is how I discovered that I said, you know what? I'm not going back to work for nobody else because I could do this from wherever I was. I was in Dubai in totally different time zones. Still could do a video. I could take about 30 minutes to 40 an hour or so like that. Record the video in the bathroom and still be out in time enough to go and enjoy the rest of the day with the family while we were running around in Dubai. Y'all, this is why I try to tell y'all, like, that's how I got started. Okay. This is how I got started. Then at the end of the month, when I could see the revenue, I was like, oh, I made more in a couple of weeks on YouTube than I did working on TV. So I said, oh, heck no. Oh, no, 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 no. No, absolutely not. That's when it clicked for me that traditional like television is not paying what it used to. Okay. Especially for reality TV. I'm not saying, listen, the amount that Drew's making is good. It's good. Right. But when you got to factor in all these other people that you probably got to pay, then here, like, and doing all of this all the time, that's going to add up. So what I want Drew to do is, and I said this, I've been saying this, I want her to win. I want all these people to win. If I'm talking about you, like Lateshia from Belle Collective, she needs to be on YouTube. She needs to be on YouTube teaching some classes about women's empowerment, right? So that's what I would be doing if honestly I was any of these people who are on these shows. Like, get yourself on a platform. It might be TikTok that might be your thing. It could be short form content. It could be Instagram that's your thing. It could be LinkedIn that's your thing. Just get a thing, man. Just get a thing. Okay? Just get a thing and double and triple down on that thing. But I do know that content is where it's at. So that's why I'm doing these classes. And that's why I have something even bigger planned for after this particular class. So I need y'all to be in class. Okay? I need y'all to be in class. Anyway, that's my BTS story. I'll share more with you in class. You'll get more story, but you're going to get a lot of instruction. So let me go prepare for that. With that being said, I will see you and me and this beard. If you're not in class, you will see Mr. Blackbeard either later today or tomorrow. Okay, you're gonna see it all black. All right. Otherwise, you will see me in my gray in class. All right. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Y'all, let me tell y'all how this is crazy. I can't even end the video. Ah! me tell you something. Won't he do what the Lord said?